everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Sandy's House, where ingredients and taste meet. Today, we will be baking a Basque cake, B-A-S-Q-U-E. It comes from the Basque region of France and Spain, and it's like a shortbread crust filled with pastry cream or like a black cherry jam, and sometimes people do both. But today, we are going to be filling it with an orange pastry cream because someone gifted me a bag of oranges and I want to do something with them. So let's get to it. Okay, we have all of our ingredients. To start with the pastry cream, we want to get the pastry cream started first. So I have 1 cup, 1 1/4 cups of milk. We're going to add that to the pot. I'm going to turn our pot on kind of medium low because we want to bring the milk to a simmer. And then we're going to add a tablespoon of orange zest. That in there and get this all mixed up. While this is coming to a simmer, you are not going to believe how easy it is to make pastry cream. So while the milk and the orange zest are coming to a simmer, to our bowl here, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, a 1/3 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. This is going to help our pastry cream thicken up. And 1 whole egg and an egg yolk. And then we want to whisk this together. We just want to get this all, that flour going all over the place. We want to whisk this together, get this all incorporated. Don't do like me. Try to keep as much of your flour, your dry ingredients, inside the bowl. Okay, we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla to our mixture. And because this is going to be an orange Basque cake, we're going to add some orange extract in this. Now, I've never done this cake before, so we are literally doing this together. But it is not a hard cake to make. So we got our batter all mixed up. Can you see that? And then once the milk starts simmering, we're going to add a little bit of milk, which is called tempering. And we add a little bit to bring the egg mixture and the milk to the same temperature so that the milk doesn't cook the eggs. So you just add a little bit in, whisk it together, and then we're going to pour all of it back into our pot until it thickens up. Once it thickens up, we're going to add some butter. A lot of pastry cream recipes don't require butter, but I like adding a little bit because it just makes it really silky and not really thick. And that's the consistency that I'm looking for. And then it's your choice if you want to take it at that point, wrap it in saran wrap and put it in the refrigerator and let it cool down. But what I do is put it in my mixer and let it mix, and it cools down that way, and it takes about 15 minutes. So that's going to be the last step we do in getting this pastry cream together. Okay, our milk is almost done. Okay. I'm going to lower the heat a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour just a little bit to temper my eggs. And I'm going to stir while I'm doing this because I don't want, and I'm going to do like a slow stream because I don't want the eggs to cook. I'm just going to do a slow stream a little bit at a time. Pour it all in the pot and continue stirring. I'm just going to stir this until it starts to thicken up. Once it thickens up, I'm going to transfer it to my mixer. Okay, our mixture is thickened up. I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of butter. I want it nice and silky. I'm gonna move over, add this to the mixer, and it'll take about 15 minutes to cool down. And then we will put the cake part together. And that's it. You have made pastry cream. So easy. So easy. This pastry cream can be used in lieu of the boxed vanilla pudding for banana pudding. You can make homemade pastry cream instead, and then add your Cool Whip or your homemade whipped cream. You can do this with eclairs. You can use it with eclairs. You can use it to stuff donuts. Anything that you desire, you know, like a cream or something like that, you can make your own pastry cream. Okay, let's move to the mixer. Okay, our pastry cream is cool and it's ready. Now it's time to prepare the base of our cake, and it's like any typical cake. I have 2/3 cup of softened European butter in our bowl, or 151 grams, and 3/4 cup of sugar. We're gonna mix that together until it's nice and fluffy, and then we're gonna add 2 cups of cake flour. I'm using Swan's Down cake flour, but you can use, I think the other brand is Soft and Sift or something like that. And then to this, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to mix that in. And then we have 2 eggs. And to my eggs, I added 1 teaspoon of orange extract and a teaspoon of vanilla. And we'll add those, and that's the cake. That's it. So now we're going to add, I'm going to stop it and kind of scrape down the side of the bowl. Make sure everything gets well combined before I add the eggs. Okay, and then we're going to add 1 egg at a time to ensure that everything gets incorporated correctly. And we'll wait until that's fully combined before we add the other egg. Okay, both of our eggs and our flavoring is all in here and it's all well combined. I'm gonna add the flour a little bit at a time. And what I usually do to avoid over mixing, because I want a tender cake, not a tough cake. I don't want to produce too much gluten. I always stop my mixer when I add the flour. And I do this in thirds. And from here, I just kind of pulse it. I don't mix it. I just want to get the flour incorporated, but I don't want too much movement. And then stopped it. I'm going to add more flour. Some people allow their mixer to mix the entire time, and they seem to get something that's tender and moist, but this way just always works for me. Not knocking what anybody else does, because everybody does what they want to do in their kitchen, and that is cool with me. And then I'm just going to pulse this. Okay, I'm going to stop it there, and we're going to move to the other side. So what I'm gonna do, I put half of the batter in the bottom of our pan here. I'm gonna put the pastry cream on top of that, because remember, what makes a Basque cake is that it's filled with pastry cream or some type of black cherry jam. And you don't want to take it all the way to the edge, because you want the pastry cream to bake inside the cake. You don't want it to ooze out, which means you may have some pastry cream left over, which is okay because it freezes really well and you can use it in another dessert. Okay, so I'm gonna get this spread out on top. I'm gonna start with the edges just to keep, like, build a wall to keep the pastry cream inside. Okay, so our cake has been in the refrigerator resting for about 15 minutes. Now I'm gonna add this glaze, which consists of a 1/4 cup of milk and 1 egg yolk combined, beaten well. And we're just gonna brush the top of the cake with this glaze. This is just gonna make it really pretty golden and shiny. And then we're gonna take a fork and score it, just to put a little design in it. This doesn't affect the taste or anything. And then we're gonna top it with some sliced almonds, and that's optional. If you don't like almonds, you don't have to use them, or if you prefer pecans or walnuts, it's your cake. You can do whatever you want to with it. Okay. I'm going to take my fork and just score it. I'm going to put some lines in it. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to score this one just a couple times like that. Okay. Now I'm going to top it with, now if you want to wait and put these on at the end, you can. I like doing it this way because the nuts will bake into the cake. Okay, now I'm going to put it in the oven on 350 for 45 minutes and I'll be back. All right, everybody, our cake is out of the oven. Put a little powdered sugar on it, topped it with some fruit, some berries, and oranges. Now it's time to cut into it. But first, I want to thank you for joining me today. Thank you so much for baking it breezy with me today. Let me leave you with this, as we always do. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord protect you. May the Lord smile upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord show you his favor and give you his peace as only he can. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Bake it breezy. That's really good. You can taste the pastry cream. It's soft and fluffy, full of flavor. That's worth a try, everybody.